We do have a lot of programs, a lot of activities which are coordinated with our national federations as well as with the Ministry of Education, Science and Sport. I will just go now here to have this short presentation. Well, about the Olympic Committee of Slovenia in general, we are also an association of sport federations. It's not the same in all countries, but we are also kind of, let's say, national sport federation for all sports. It means national federations, local sport federations, sport for all, and doing a lot of activities. That means that when we do activities and we perform programs, we do this on different levels, like for elite levels, for young athletes, for grassroots level, and also for seniors, for example. And for all of them, for all of us, it is important that we protect sport, we create safe sport in way to avoid any irregularity, and also to protect, let's say, health, and that we feel better after sport, not that we, let's say, have after sport some problems. Even this is like physical or mental, if I say so. So we have our long-term strategic plan, which we of course follow, and of course inside the strategic plan we put also a strong focus to the integrity, to the safeguarding, and also to protect any kind of violence in different target groups. And yeah, well, we follow Olympic Charter because we are National Olympic Committee, Olympic agenda, and also we have some public tests according to the law on sport in Slovenia. So that means we are a body which really needs to have a high level of activities also on the protecting of violence and integrity. Well, as I already mentioned, the integrity and safe sport activities are part of our annual program every year. And inside the Olympic Committee, the Slovenian Olympic Academy is responsible for the implementation, more or less, all of those activities. But not itself, but with cooperation with the Top Sport Committee, Sport for All Committee, Committee for the Sport in Local Area, and also with the General Committee to support also General Assembly, our sport officials and our members. And it is important that we put some focus to the structure inside the Olympic Committee, that we follow the, let's say, good governance principles, that we follow and protect and prevention about any kind of violence inside the structure, and of course outside, because our members, when we accept some kind of rule or some kind of code, then they are obliged to follow this. So it's, let's say, really important, and we have some possibilities maybe to have also influence to the lower position and, let's say, local sport federations. And it's the way it should be, because we follow IOC, for example, and they gave us some guidelines, some, let's say, programs. They assure also the implementation. Of course, then it's our task to do this down to the sport federations on national level, local level, and that we reach also sport clubs. Okay, so some important milestones on the, let's say, related to the integrity and safe sport. In 2013, we established an independent agency, anti-doping agency in Slovenia. So the anti-doping agency is independent, however, created by the Olympic Committee of Slovenia. Totally independent, works in the different business offices, and it follows its own program, which we confirm, and is financially supported by the Olympic Committee, Ministry, Sport Funding, and I also think with some international funds. And in 2014, General Assembly of the Olympic Committee of Slovenia nominated the Ombudsman of Athletes' Rights. This is a really important institute which shows some, let's say, options for athletes to approach this person with some, let's say, problems, with some issues, with any kind of problems they face during their sport career or during their life. And the Ombudsman is responsible to react to give support and also to prevent against any kind of violence. After several years, according to the new law on sport, this institute, Ombudsman of Athletes' Rights, now became an independent body inside the structure of the ministry. That means that it's totally independent even from the Olympic Committee of Slovenia, which I believe is even on a higher level of the integrity and autonomy. However, it's a little difficult to arrange all the activities and to combine all the activities, because we also have some tasks on the safeguarding and we need to do then all this together. So, but we are working close together. The Ombudsman is Olympian national champion in high jumping in athletics, so it's really perfect athlete to this place. We, in the same year, nominated the Independent Ethics Commission, and in 2016 we established and developed the new whistleblower portal line. We name it Zviždavka. It's in Slovene to whistle, and this is let's say the tool which we use for our anonymous reports or with open identity reports for, let's say, any kind of question or any kind of official report that's about kind of violence, about safeguarding, about some problems, and it's operated by and supported by external partner of the Olympic Committee, and the Ethics Commission is obliged to deal with every single report. It means that we need to react to any kind of report, even though it's even not close to the Olympic Committee or to the reports or to any structure inside the Olympic Committee. We need to report. And also some of our national federations also use this whistleblower portal Zviždavka for their own structure. That means, like Football Federation, they have this whistleblower portal which is run by the national platform, and it's prepared on the level of the Football Federation. And the most important message in this relation is that we are going to react to the report. Because this is, let's say, important moment, even though sometimes the questions are not for the Olympic Committee, or they are maybe for the official institutions that should deal with some kind of problems and violence or any kind of integrity issues. And we are really aware that inside the Olympic Committee of Slovenia, we are a sport federation. We are not like some official body, governmental body, like police, national prosecutors, or similar institutions that have some, let's say, options to put something in force, like officially. But we have a lot of options on the promotion and awareness raising. And this is the important part, which we are full aware. That means that when we face some kind of report on the violence, basic on the gender inequality or any kind of sexual abuse or something similar, we are aware that we are not able to accept the decision what was right and what was wrong. So we need to pass this message, of course it's anonymous, to the official institution or to the, let's say, non-governmental organization that is dealing and is, let's say, responsible for specific tasks. And this is important because sometimes if you do some, let's say, you accept some kind of decision and it might be wrong, then you can produce even more harm to the victim or something similar. And we, of course, lead the kind of national campaign for supporting sporting behavior. So on the one side, we promote sporting behavior, fair play. On the other hand, we try to have influence on the violence and integrity issues, and to combine everything together, going from, let's say, grassroots level then to elite sport. I think that can bring some results, positive results, and especially the clear message: zero tolerance towards violence and any kind of irregularity. So here are some, let's say, most important activities which are in progress right now. In this year, the General Assembly accepted the Code of Ethics, and it's our own code. Before this, we used to have the IOC Code of Ethics, and we accepted it, but now we accepted our own code. And it is important that it's also an obligation of all national federations and local federations that they also accept this at their General Assembly and put in force also for their clubs. And we also have some, let's say, specific activities for different target groups. As I previously mentioned, that the Olympic Committee is also an association of sport federations doing activities for top sport, young athletes, children doing some, let's say, occasional activities in sport, seniors that are in sport, and of course we need to focus to all, let's say, level of different target groups. So we start with children and youth doing some, let's say, fair play protocols, some kind of awareness about what is right, what is wrong, how you should react when something is wrong, that you must be clear with this. It's unacceptable that something wrong in sport. You should speak out. And then we have workshops for athletes, coaches, and athletes on the different topics, on safeguarding, on protecting sport from, let's say, any kind of irregularities. And also we have a kind of program which we developed. It's a financial and business literacy for athletes and coaches. It's kind of a program to support their development, also in way to avoid any kind of bankruptcy, any financial problems, and to live with the budget which they have, not to do something, let's say, wrong with it, because we know in the history, also in Slovenia, happened that some athletes had some problems on financial aspects, and then this was the main reason why they react totally wrong. So we now also are quite well involved into the IOC program on the competition prevention of the competition manipulations. We nominated SPOC, single point of contact. It is Dr. Tona Jagovic, our previous Secretary General, now independent SPOC, also Secretary of Ethics Commission. He's available 24/7 for any kind of question and any kind of, let's say, report, and he must report them to the Ethics Commission or to the Disciplinary Committee of the Olympic Committee. We also nominated the Ambassador of Believe in Sport campaign of the IOC. So there are, let's say, some activities, and it's all combined inside the structure of the prevention of integrity and protecting clean sport and safe sport environment in Slovenia. This is the code. I'm sure you know about it, about the competition manipulation. But for this topic, it is even more important, the Safeguarding Toolkit of the IOC. I'm sure you all know it, and it's something what we really need to present to young athletes, to lead athletes, to coaches as well, that they know how to proceed, how to do, how to react if something is wrong. It's not easy, we are aware about this, and it's really a challenge to the victim when and how to report. And what we really realized that we need this independent whistleblower system which assure the high level of the anonymous report, and that we need to report and to react to any kind of report. So this is, let's say, the message which then gives us hope that victims of any kind of violence and any kind of irregularity will then react and be able to speak out about their problems. Sometimes it's option that the reports are, let's say, not in the position to be accepted by the Olympic Committee or that we need really kind of support from external experts. But in most cases, if the reports are serious or about serious violation, then of course we need to involve the governmental and all official institutions like police, prosecutors, National Institute for Protecting against irregularities, and this is the, let's say, the important part. So for a conclusion, as a let's say umbrella non-government organization in the structure of the International Olympic Committee and sports federations on national level, yes, we are aware that we have some responsibilities and we need to implement some activities to protect integrity, to protect safe sport, and to react on the violence. And always to say that we have zero tolerance towards violence, and that we then need to, let's say, sometimes even upgrade our activities and coordinate all the, let's say, activities with other partners that have higher capacity on specific topic. We really are aware that we cannot do everything by ourselves. It must not stay inside the Olympic Committee and sport. If this is a serious crime or serious violence, it must be reported. There must be a kind of procedure that we conclude with the decision what happened and that we protect the victim. Okay, so open for your questions.
Yeah, thank you very much. For me, very inspiring to see what is already happening here. Do you have any questions or comments for Mr. Schroer?
I'll ask about the whistleblower project. You said, I didn't understand. Is it a portal, a website, or an application that anyone can apply?
Anyone.
Yes. So
yeah, it's an online application, okay. And it offers anyone to apply. It has this, let's say, safe protections that you don't open your identity. It offers us an option to communicate with the one who reports, but totally anonymously. And it offers then to us who work with the whistleblower portal to receive the report immediately and then to be able to react. It is also prepared in different languages because it offers the option when we organize, let's say, kind of international competition major event in Slovenia, for example, that also international participants can report some irregularities, maybe competition manipulation or similar.
This is on Slovenia's Olympic Committee webpage, or it's just a separate one?
It is separate. It's a sub-page of the Olympic Committee of Slovenia. Yeah.
Great.
And what happens when somebody reports something? What can happen usually?
Yeah, okay, so it's let's say it's a standard procedure that first the first level of the analytics prepare the decision to goes this report maybe to the anti-doping agency or to the ethics commission or to the disciplinary commission of the Olympic Committee of Slovenia, or directly maybe to any public official institution, for example. So this is the way we work, and then the ethics commission accept the decision either to accept the report and go into the procedure, or it pass it to another, let's say, committee or organization, or to inform the applicant, the one who reports, that this is not, let's say, something to be dealt with. It doesn't have any sense with the ethics or with, let's say, integrity or safeguarding, but it is linked maybe to the financial issues of the operation for the clubs and federations, for example. And then in this case, we propose to them to go to the inspection of Ministry of Education, Science and Sport, or police, for example.
Since we have whistleblower, is there more reports now anonymous for the regulate, like, I don't know, about something going on and stuff more, or it's like how much per year or something like that? Is it going on okay or just?
Well, yeah, it's the number of reports is let's say increasing, but we know that in the last 2 years the events were, let's say, limited, and not so many spectators were at the events. Parents had less influence, and some problems were, let's say, not so how can I say, presented. But in any case, this year we faced some more reports. It was about the structure of the Olympic Committee and some problems which were now inside the disciplinary commission of the Olympic Committee of Slovenia well accepted, and they had a meeting to discuss about what happened, and we had a clear picture. So let's say about 15 per year for the Olympic Committee, and some of them then to the anti-doping agency, and some of the reports are directly to the sport federations, for which I don't have the number, I don't see them, and we cannot have any influence to it. But we face some, let's say, serious reports already for which we couldn't respond, and when we involved we actually prepared the official report to the prosecutors, for example, and then we were a customer inside the procedure. So.
Thank you. Any more questions?
A few years ago, Olympic Committee, I guess with the Slovenian anti-doping agency, made this online course which is mandatory for all the athletes and their coaches about the clean sport. Do you think you could also do a similar course about educating athletes and coaches about violence in sport?
Yeah, but we do this because we do this for all our teams. And for example, the team for Tokyo this year participated to the preparatory camp, or how can I say, we use the name of the Olympic camp, and we opened different topics which were about the media, about the integrity, about the rules, what are athletes' rights, what are athletes' responsibilities, and of course this is the highest level possible. Then we have also our young teams. Now they go to Finland to the Winter European Olympic Festival, and all of them have participated to the workshops. Also, anti-doping agency presented some topics. Also, we talk about Olympic values. We talk about protecting clean sport, and we also offer this option to national sport federations. But some of them accept the decision, the invitation. Some of them even do not react. But they are independent, and we cannot, let's say, put in force something yet. Maybe that they need to participate to any kind of workshop. But we offer that kind of option. And let's say about 2 years ago, with Handball Federation, during summer, we organized that kind of workshops for their all teams, for children that started with handball, then with, let's say, a little older until the top sports. And that's a case of best practice, for example. Also, some other federations do this, and we are full, let's say, available for any kind of workshop. We support them with also some experts, and we also cover all the costs. But some of them are not, let's say, reacting to this, and still not organizing that kind of activities. So it's now for anti-doping must do, and it will be soon, I believe, in relation to the competition manipulation and abuses also from our part, that all national teams must participate to the courses. And we just need to find out how and when to organize everything. the online session, the online materials are already available. This is not a case, but it is important that we have a personal approach to them, and that they even meet the, let's say, the single point of contact person who is then responsible for some kind of reports. That they have maybe even some kind of personal touch with those who are, let's say, on the positions that can have some kind of influence when we face a report on the violence.
Yeah. Because just before we were talking with some participants, that lots of times people who come to this kind of events are already those who have this awareness. So we are kind of convincing the convinced ones. Yeah. And we are talking how to kind of make it as a part of an exam for becoming a trainer, or this kind of education that it's really you have to go through at least part of it, that you get this awareness of what's going on there.
Yeah, in Slovenia, it's about training the professional staff in sport. If you want to work in the field of sport, you need the education profession in sport, or you need the competences to work in sport, and you need to attend to the official courses of national sport federations. And part of this is also dedicated to the, let's say, legal issues and statutes, and some of the federations do involve inside this also the topics on the integrity and safeguarding. Some do not yet, but for sure this is the important part, and we are aware about this. That when we have this kind of courses for coaches, even just to achieve the license for next year, maybe, or that when they started with their sport career, for example, as a coach, then they should listen to that kind of topics and have kind of professional attitude towards the violence and any kind of, let's say, issues on integrity. So this is also really important, because coaches, trainers, sport administration must be aware that zero tolerance towards violence is really, really important. And it starts a lot of those activities and events inside the sport clubs between athletes and coaches. And if we'll have let's say, full authority to say that everything is prohibited, we can say, but we do not have yet the option to follow if this is right. So the athletes and all of us who are working in sport must be aware about the options which we have for the reporting when something is wrong, and that we believe that the report will be accepted and that somebody will accept the decision about this.
Being aware of time.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. I guess we could talk
you can
for a long
continue,
time
of
about
course.
it, but
Yeah. In any case, once more apologies that I jump in the middle of your workshop, but it's really now in December quite a lot of.
thank you for coming.
So,
we appreciate it. Okay, let's do a 10-minute break.